one of the best things that we can do when we contact past clients is have a valid business reason. What can we do to add value to this relationship? How can we help them to grow their business? How can we support them so that they can do their business more efficiently?
Welcome to the Master Dealmakers Secrets Podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 213. And today we're going to talk about 4 key things that you can do to keep in touch with your clients that might not necessarily be existing clients. So they're probably past clients. They're people that have worked with you before, but they're not currently working with you right now. But before we do that, if you have got leads that you've spoken to, that you have made an offer to, but they haven't bought yet, I want you to head over to johnblakeaudio.com. What you'll get there is my 15-minute audio training that shows you exactly what you need to do to convert those people that haven't bought yet. And what we know is that 44% of people give up after one follow-up. 44% of salespeople will give up after one follow-up if that particular client hasn't bought yet. And what you'll get in this strategy is exactly what to do. So exactly when to call, exactly what to say when you call, exactly what to say if you get a voicemail, exactly what to write in your email, exactly when to send those emails over a 90-day period. I guarantee if you put this into place, you will convert a whole bunch of people, and it's not difficult. Like, it's just a matter of keeping in contact with them and being available for them when they want to buy. Because here's what we know. 50% of people, after they inquire about a product, will buy within the first 2 years. And only, on average, 20 to 25% are going to buy in the first 90 days. So there's a bunch of people that are going to buy from someone. And in most cases, it's simply a matter of being the person that keeps in touch. So it's over at johnblakeaudio.com. Go grab it. Download the 15-minute audio and also get the PDF that has the exact word-for-word script. So all you have to do is cut and paste, and you can see exactly what you need to say when you call. As I said, exactly what to say if you get someone's voicemail over a 90-day period. Put it into practice. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so one of the key things that is such an important part of business revenue, of maintaining business revenue, of optimizing business revenue is this whole idea of staying in contact. So what we know is that the reason, there's been a bunch of research that's been done on this, but the reason that clients defect, the reason that they go and work with a different business, with a different company, in most cases is because they have had too infrequent contact from that vendor, or the contact that they did get was of poor quality. So what's also interesting is that only 15% will change companies because they found a cheaper product, and only 15% will change companies because they found a better product. So if we look at the main reasons why a client will go somewhere different and deal with a different business to get the same product, but the same product category, but from a different business, primarily what it comes down to is this infrequent contact, or the contact that they did get was impersonal or of poor quality. So there is an absolute case, a big important case for staying in contact. So for having frequent quality contact with people that you have worked with before. They might not be working with you right now, but keeping in contact with them. Now, it's all very well to contact a client frequently, but unless you're adding value, then you can become a pest. So it's all very well to contact a past client frequently, but it's also important to add value. So today I'm going to give you 4 things that you can do to keep in contact with your past clients and provide value. So it really is the frequency of the contact, but you can't just do that. You can't just ring a client regularly without actually having some value to add. So we're going to talk about how to add value in that conversation. So there's effectively 4 things that you can do. So I'm going to give you one idea and 3 questions. So the idea is this whole idea of having a valid business reason to contact a past client. And this is effectively a way that you can add value. Now, the questions that I'm going to give you allow you to add value as well, but it's good to have a reason. So potentially a valid business reason to get back in contact with a client might be that you have some market intel. You might have some information that you think might be valuable to them. So you're providing them with some valuable intel. You might be introducing them to another business that could either complement what they're doing, or you could be introducing a potential client to them. So that would be a valid business reason to get back in contact. Another business reason could be you could be aware of some change that's coming in legislation, or a change that's coming in the market that they might not know about, but they need to be prepared for. You could be helping them to navigate a particular change that's happening in the market, where they've got to make a choice, but they might not necessarily have all the information available to them, and you've done the research so that you can help them make that choice. So there's a number of keeping them abreast of new products. So there could be some product changes. Could be some product changes to an existing product that they're buying. There could be product changes to some future things. So I literally spend entire sessions with clients coming up with valid business reasons that they can use to keep in contact with their clients. In the absence of that, when you do get through, there are 3 really good questions that you can ask somebody, right? The first question is, other than, hi, how are you going, right? Because you obviously need to be personable. You need to be somebody that, that they get along with. You need to have an element of rapport with them. But one of the best questions that you can ask is, so tell me, what's your biggest focus right now? What's taking up most of your time, right? Now, when your client tells you that, when they say, well, look, the biggest focus for us right now is, and they explain all of the things that they're working on, you could potentially add value to that conversation. It's like, do you need some help with that? Or, have you got anyone to help you with this particular component of what you're doing? So you might be able to make an introduction to somebody that could potentially help them, or you could potentially help them yourself. So there's this opportunity within the fact that you've got rapport with them for you to be able to assist them with whatever it is that their number one focus is right now. So what is your biggest focus right now? What is taking up most of your time right now? Great questions to ask a client that's not a current client with you, but you want to keep in contact with, because it uncovers the potential for you to be able to add value. Another good question is, what do you need the most right now? What do you need the most right now? So what we're focused on might not necessarily be the thing that we need most. But if they say, oh, well, we really need someone to help us with this, or we need, really need a key staff member to help us with this particular part of what we're doing, it could provide you with an opportunity to add value. And then the last question, which if you ask those 2 questions and you get good answers, you probably won't even need to ask the last question. But the last question is, anything I can do to help? And they might go, actually, yeah, we were hoping that you might be able to da-da-da-da. But like I said, if you get the first question right, which is what's your biggest focus, the second question, which is what do you need the most, you probably won't need to ask the third question, because how you might be able to help will become self-evident, and you can make some suggestions, and it might not necessarily result in them buying from you. It could just be you giving them something or introducing them to somebody else that can actually help them. So just to recap, so 69% of people, the majority of people will defect and leave an organisation, start dealing with a different organisation because of too infrequent contact or the contact was of poor quality. 69%. Only 15% will leave because they found a cheaper price. Only 15% will leave because they found a better product. One of the best things that we can do when we contact past clients is have a valid business reason. What can we do to add value to this relationship? How can we help them to grow their business? How can we support them so that they can do their business more efficiently? How can we help them to solve problems that they're experiencing in their business right now? How can we help them to navigate changes that might be coming? How can we help them to avoid some landmines that might be coming? So that's the valid business reason piece. And like I said, in the work I do with clients, we actually workshop and come up with lists of valid business reasons that we can use to get back in contact with clients. Then once you are talking to a client, the 3 questions: what's the biggest focus for you guys right now? What do you need the most? Anything I can do to help? I hope that helps. I hope that's a valid business reason for you to listen to the podcast. I hope that helps. And I will look forward to talking to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.